Today, I will take you on a product tour to demonstrate the features and functionalities of the ProForm Progress Billing for Contractors module for Sage Intacct, developed for specialty contractors. I will review the following functions of this module, including projects, schedule of values, applications, AIA form creation, construction invoices, journal entries, change orders, reversals, and basic reporting. ProForm Progress Billing for Contractors is an automated solution that was created specifically for the construction industry. As you will see, it is directly integrated with Sage Intacct and is accessible from the top navigation bar. Before we get started, I will take you on a walkthrough of the Construction Billing drop-down menu on the navigation bar and explain the purpose and function of each item in the menu. The first thing listed is Applications. This is a quick way to create and access the applications that have been made within the various projects. Users will go to the Schedule of Values function to create and access the schedule of values for their projects. When selecting the billing worksheet, a user is able to pull a report of the current values entered into ProForm so that team members in the field are able to easily make changes to the worksheet when away from their computers. By selecting the AR Retainage Report option, you can create a spreadsheet of the journal entries for retainage. This will help users easily see into the retainage journal and view the data in one place. Bulk invoice printing is a way for users to print AIA certificates for multiple projects at the same time. It speeds up the process and creates one document containing all of the certificates. The next option is Application Import. This gives users the ability to transition their systems easily and speed up the process. It allows a user to convert projects into the ProForm module by using a templated spreadsheet for uploading the data. Schedule of Values Import allows users to also mass import Schedule of Values information with a templated spreadsheet. Construction Billing Configuration and Construction Billing Errors both allow back-end access to the configuration and give visibility into any errors that may arise within the module. This makes administration of the module very user-friendly. And now, I will take you on a tour of the major functionality of ProForm Progress Billing for Contractors. I will first create a project that we will work on throughout the product tour. This is done with standard Sage Intacct project functionality. All project fields that are typically required must be completed, including project ID, project name, project category, and customer. Next, I will complete additional fields that are necessary, such as the primary contact, ship to contact, and bill to contact under the Contact section, and the department and location under the Dimensions section. It is necessary to complete these items because they will be pulled into the AIA forms and the invoice sheet that we will be creating. Now that we have set up the basics of our project, we are ready to dive into the unique functionality of ProForm. After creating our project, the next step is to create the Schedule of Values. We can access the Schedule of Values from the Construction Billing drop-down menu on the top navigation bar. From here, we can link to the project that we just created. By doing this, ProForm will automatically pull in the project name. We have the ability to enter a description here if we like, and we also will enter a retention percentage. You will see that there is a checkbox for Include on Billing Worksheet, which is automatically checked. By leaving this checkbox marked, It ensures that the schedule of values will be reflected on our billing worksheet report that we will be reviewing later in the product tour. By pulling the project in and entering necessary information, the system has created the basic header of the schedule of values. Now, we will go in and populate a couple of the line items that will make up the schedule of values. To do this, we'll create a new entry and include the necessary information, such as line number, description of work, item subtotal group, and scheduled value. The line number field can be either letters or numbers, and it will determine the order in which the items are listed. The subtotal group is a great way to group items together when the certificate is printed, so that it displays subtotals. Imagine you have 10 different line items in your schedule of values, and you want to group those into different categories. This allows you to group those subtotal values. Now that we have these line items set up, we can work on creating our first application based off of these values. The application functionality is accessible from the top navigation bar. We can look up the project we're working on from the application view. You'll notice that when we create an application, it automatically numbers it at 01. As we go through and create additional applications, the numbering will continue to increment automatically. We will now enter the information for this application. This will all be pulled into the invoice and certificate that we will create later in the product tour. Once we save the application, we can access it from the list. After opened, you will see that ProForm has pulled in the line items from our previously created schedule of values. From this window, we are able to make edits to the completed percentage and the work in place totals. You will see that by editing one of these items, it will update the other to properly match it. You will also see that the retention amount has automatically been calculated based on what we had entered in the scheduled of values. When we are ready to create an invoice for this application, that retainage amount will be entered into the general ledger as well. Once the application is updated, it is ready for approval. By approving the application, the status will automatically be updated to approved for printing. At this point, we are now able to download a draft of the G702 and the G703 forms. Please note that the forms begin with an optional invoice cover page. As you can see, the contract information that we pulled into the project is populating on the cover page along with other account information that we had selected. The next page is the AIA formatted certificate of payment. On this page, there is a summary of the project along with the specified dates that we entered earlier. On the following page, you will see that the line items we had created are listed, along with the work in place and retainage amounts. Once we have confirmed that the forms are correct, we can close this and go back to the application screen. From here, we can mark this as printed, which will automatically update the status and generate a copy of the construction invoice and journal entries into the general ledger. Now, we will take a look at the invoice. The construction invoice is accessible from the Order Entry tab on the top navigation bar. We can easily view the invoice that has been created. When we open our invoice, you will see that the line items that were billed for in the invoice are shown under the entries. If sales tax had been configured, then it would display here as well. Now let's take a look at the journal entries in the General Ledger. From the top navigation bar, we can access our General Ledger and journal entries, including our retainage journal. This is where the retainage amounts are going to be shown. You can click into the transaction to view specific details about the retainage. Next, we will look at change orders. Let's start by creating a new application within the same project that we've been working on. We will enter the information in the same way as previously done for the application. Once saved, it automatically pulls in the line items from our schedule of values. Now we are ready to create a change order. First, we will enter in the necessary information: line number, description of work, change order approved date, change order number, subtotal group, and scheduled value. Once saved, it is listed along with the other line items in the application. Now we can make edits to the percentage completed, work in place, or retention percentage. Once we update the information for that change order, we'll go through the same approval process as we did with the applications. After it is marked as approved and marked as printed, we are able to pull a copy of the certificate in the same way. You will see that the change order documents look similar to the previous forms we created, but you'll notice that in this one, the first page references the invoice number and a summary of the change orders. On the second page, the change orders are broken out into detail. You can also see on the final page how the subtotals have been grouped together based on the groups that we added previously. In the event that there is a problem and we must change a value on an application, ProForm allows us to reverse an application. We simply have to reverse back to the application that we would like to change. We can reverse back more than one application, but we must do them one at a time. I'll show you how easy that is by reversing this application that we are working on. After clicking on the reverse button, a construction credit memo will automatically be created. We can find that credit memo by navigating to Transactions under the Order Entry tab in the top navigation bar. Here, we will select the credit memo for the reversal that we just did. When viewing the credit memo, it shows that the amount that was billed has been canceled out. Now let's navigate to our journal entry for retainage. The offsetting transaction is displayed, showing that the application has been reversed. Next, I will review basic billing worksheet reporting. For this, we will navigate to the billing worksheet report. This report is very useful to print when you have people in the field that may need to update workplace values and do not have Sage Intacct in front of them. This way, they can know what is currently entered, make edits, and then change the values when they get back to using ProForm. Simply select a project to report on and it will automatically generate the report. This report will show the current status of the schedule of values with the retainage, percentage completed, and other items. There's also an area where someone can write in the revised percentage completed. We hope that you have enjoyed the ProForm Progress Billing for Contractors product tour. For further information, please contact us at info@lbmctech.com.